Hey everyone, this is Chris and Sandy Been with the Chris and Sandy Show. We get up close and personal, some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I say on every episode, we got a great one for you. Who do we have?
Yes, we have Kacey Fifield with us today. She is an actress, musician, and influencer. She's best known for her series regular role on Nickelodeon's React to That and Kids React series on YouTube. Her other notable credits include roles on Nickelodeon's Game Shakers, where she plays Karissa. She recurs on several TV series, including CLIQUE Wars, People versus Food, DIANNE, Jerry and Friends, Try Not to Smile or Laugh, Opinions and Advice.
And we're excited to have her on the show. So welcome
Yes.
to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
And you've
Thanks
done a
for
lot of
being
stuff at such a young age already.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I started acting when I was 8 and started singing when I was 10, so
Oh,
definitely had a
wow.
lot of time.
Yeah.
So last year has been tough on a lot of people with COVID and all that. So how did COVID affect what you do as an entertainer? And what have you done to maneuver through this crazy maze we have?
Yeah, COVID definitely affected certain things like acting a lot because nobody was really filming. There were a couple of auditions, but they were all self-tapes, and self-taped auditions are a bit harder because you don't actually get in a room with a casting director. So it's a bit harder to just show your full range. So acting has definitely slowed down, and I think now it's picking back up again for a lot of people in the industry. But yeah, for a year, it was pretty tough. And then in regards to music, I mean, it was a little bit harder to not be able to actually go to a studio to record, but I work with my vocal coach, Robbie Rosen, on songwriting and vocals over Skype anyway, since he's in New York. So that didn't change too much. And I also have a home recording studio set up, so I'm able to
Wow.
record songs anyways. I actually recorded a couple of songs during COVID, including Last Breath and my newest song, Confused, which is actually kind of about the pandemic and about its overwhelming circumstances.
Oh, wow.
So on some fronts, it was pandemic was a little bit of a silver lining for you because it slowed things down so you could catch things up.
Yeah, definitely. It's given me a lot more time, especially with school, because I do go to normal school. And with school being online, we had way shorter hours. So that gave me a little bit more time to pursue both my extracurricular interests in school because I'm on my school's debate team and in a bunch of clubs and all that, but also all of my acting and singing pursuits as well.
Yeah, and that's like for us, we launched this show January of 2020. And at that time, our original plan was 100 interviews, and we thought if we could just do that for the first year, we would have the foundation laid. And then COVID happens. And I remember telling Sandy, I was like, this might be our year to shine because artists and actors and all that, they're going to need a place to talk, and we're going to give it to them. And because of that, we've done over 400 shows so far and over 300 last year.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
So it's definitely been a crazy venture here and getting to talk to so many great people.
Yes, it's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
And we owe
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
can
it to COVID. That's the crazy part.
Yes.
Yeah. And I feel like with COVID, it's just really important to make the best out of the situation because obviously nobody wants for there to be a global pandemic. But I feel like a lot of people are just finding good things that came out of it. And I think that's really important for all of us to not let it bring us down and feel like we lost a year of our lives.
Oh, definitely. Because I know we didn't, now granted, now we don't live in California or anything. We live in Georgia. So our state, for the most part, closed down for 2 months. And then after that, we've been open. So for the most part, we've been able to live our life the way we normally do, with just a few exceptions, of course, with masks and all that. But outside of that, Georgia's been pretty good.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I'm in California and I recently got vaccinated. So once I've been fully vaccinated, everything's pretty much gone back to normal, which is really awesome. I've been able to see my friends regularly again and hang out and go all these places, which is really great.
So I got to ask, you've probably been asked this a bunch of times, but since you're an artist and an actress, if you had to choose, which would you choose?
You're right. I have been asked this a lot of times, and it's really difficult because I love acting and I also love singing and making songs. So So I'm not really sure how to choose because I like them both in different ways. Acting is more stepping into other characters' shoes and portraying other people for an audience, like whether it be on television or a commercial or whatever. Singing is more expressing my own emotions rather than being a character and like putting my own thoughts and feelings into lyrics. So I don't know, both are really meaningful experiences for me, and I wouldn't really trade either. So I don't really have an
The great thing is
answer
you
to
don't
that.
have to. You know, that's like when we first launched the show. This show original was an up and coming country artist interview show. That's the roots of launching
That's
this
the
show.
roots of the show, yeah.
And it's like I'm glad we don't have to choose, because as we grew, we became a music interview show. Then all of a sudden we became an entertainment interview show where we do actors and artists, and we're like, you know what, this is great. We get them both on, and because you know when it comes to being an artist and becoming an actress, you really are chasing that same dream. Kind of the work ethic is the same. It's almost the same thing, just a different platform.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely see that. And, you know, it's a really similar industry with a lot of people kind of involved in both. There's a lot of intersection between opportunities for musicians and opportunities for actors. So, yeah, that
So
definitely
kind
makes
of,
sense.
so sometimes it benefits you to do both because, like you said, one can lead to the other, and the other can lead back to the one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I see acting roles all the time where in the description for the role, it's like, must be able to sing, must like be able to do this thing. So, I mean, acting definitely requires singing, and I mean, singing requires acting too in music videos
That's
and
true.
all those things.
Love that. So, what are some hobbies you like to do outside of music?
Well, outside of music, I
Music
really like,
and, of course, actors.
yeah, I really like debate. I'm on my school's debate team, and we ended off our season already, but it was really great. I got to compete in a lot of tournaments and the state championship and all of those things. So that's one hobby that I really enjoy. I also have 4 cats. They're actually on Instagram at the Fifield cats, but I really like playing with them. They're really adorable. I love hanging out with them. They're like my little buddies here at home, and they're really awesome.
We should have made Instagram for Prissy before she died.
Oh, we should have. We had a little cat for 15 years. She was the best cat.
Yeah, she just popped up on our porch one day, and we've kept her since.
That's so cute.
So, what would you say is something quirky about you?
As in quirky, do you mean something not many people would know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like unusual, not many people would know type thing.
Well, I guess a couple things. One is that I'm actually vegetarian, which not a lot of people tend to know, even though I'm not secretive about it online or anything. But yeah, some people are surprised to find that out. And I'm also bilingual. I speak both Polish and English. So that's another thing that people don't really know about me.
Oh, very cool.
I love that. So, as you know, a lot of people, they see the glamour between like a Blake Shelton, a Brad Pitt, and all the entertainers and all that, but they don't see the glory, the grind, the sacrifice, the tears that it takes to get to not just their level, but even a career level within entertainment. And I always want to talk about that because, as you know, a lot of people kind of sugarcoat this side of it. They think, oh, if you got the talent, you can make it. But we both know that's just not the truth if you don't have the tenacity too. So tell us a little bit about the sacrifices you've had to make in your career so far.
Well, I always think about the path to success having 3 factors. The first is talent, the second is hard work, and the third is honestly just luck. So because a lot of things in the industry are based purely off of luck, like in regards to acting, 2 people with exactly the same skill set, they're both equally as talented, they both can portray the role the exact same way. Let's say that as an example, one person would get the role because they look more like the person who's playing the parent, whereas the other would be disadvantaged because of that. So in that respect, a lot of things are really just about luck in the acting industry, and same in the music industry. A lot of it's about who you know and meeting the right people. So I think that perseverance is the most important thing because you will get your lucky break if you continue working hard and if you continue building your skill set. Yeah, it's definitely not an easy industry, especially with acting. There's a lot of rejections. There's a lot of no's for every part you get. There's like 100 rejections from other parts, but it's really something that you just have to deal with in the industry. is just hearing no a lot. So that's why I think some people get discouraged when they first start acting or singing or any of that, because they're not seeing initial success. They like dream of becoming huge superstars like Brad Pitt, or like how Olivia Rodrigo got really famous, which seemed to be overnight, but in reality there was a lot of hard work put behind the whole album and all of her acting roles as well. So it's really not just something that you can do once and instantly be perfect at.
Yep.
So I think that that's something that me and a lot of other people have struggled with. Sometimes I get really frustrated. Like, for example, I play guitar too. If I don't get something right on the first try, I can get annoyed at it. And I feel like a lot of people have the same problem, which is why in the whole music and entertainment industry, it's really important for people to just not give up and continue working hard towards their goals, because eventually you will reach success and it'll make all the hard work worth it.
And like they say for Nashville, anybody that moves there, it's a 10-year city. And they call it a 10-year city for a reason. And, because again, you get there, you get intimidated because there's so many people on every corner that's just as good, if not better than you are. And then within 5 years, nothing happens. You leave, but you didn't give it the chance that you're supposed to give it, because it's a 10-year city. Most people who make it big in Nashville don't make it big till after 10 years.
Yeah, and I think it just really depends on the person if they're willing to put in that much time. And like, I mean, it's really risky even to be pursuing a career in this industry because success isn't guaranteed. So I think it really depends on how much the person really wants it and how much it's really their dream, because that kind of determines how hard they're willing to work for it.
And you're talking about a while ago that sometimes you add luck into it. Like somebody told me that the harder you work, the luckier you get, and which is true. But at the same time, you are right about the luck, because there are some paths where you're working hard, and then that one small break happens that opens up everything. Because I remember we read a story recently, was Florida Georgia Line, with the cruise. That they weren't supposed to. It wasn't originally pitched for them.
It was supposed to be for Luke Bryan, who was already established at the time.
But I guess Luke Bryan may have turned it down. I don't know the whole story, but know that it got in Florida Georgia Line's hands, and look what happened.
It was their first song, huge worldwide hit.
We might not know them if it weren't for them getting that song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of them crazy things, and you watch it, and then and of course you got to be careful with the experts you listen to, because I remember a few years ago, Luke Combs put a tweet out thanking all the executives that told him every one of his songs that he shared with them would never work because all 6 went #1.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of things that happen like that. Even in other industries, I know that Dr. Seuss, for example, got rejected by a lot of publishers before actually being published. Same thing with, J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter, both of which turned out to be really well-known authors.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's the same thing in the music industry and acting industry. There's a lot of rejection, but you just can't let it get to you.
Yep. We even had a guy that we interviewed at the beginning of our show last year that talked about he used to work for Sony, and he said he had 2 artists that came, and because I asked him what was something that he turned down that is still to this day he kicks his butt on. And he said that there was 2 artists that came to him that he said would never work. He said there's no way, it's not going to work. They can forget it. It's not happening. So he passed on these 2 artists. One was Jason Aldean, and one was Kenny Chesney.
Wow.
So that was his little kick in the butt ones, where he's like, okay, I was big time wrong on that.
Yeah.
So now that we talked a little bit about the grinding side of all of this, let's go the other way and talk about the glory side. What are a few moments where you look back and you're like, wow, I got to do that?
I think really every time that I just consider the fact that, I'm 16 and I've been able to release over a dozen original songs.
Wow.
It's like not only being really proud of, the hard work I've put in and the songs I've written, but also just being really grateful for the people who have supported me, like from my parents to my vocal coaches to my online supporters. It really wouldn't be possible if I was just living by myself in a kind of abyss, trying to do this all by myself. So I think that that's just really a moment that always hits me. And also when one of my songs, Hear Me Out, was selected to a lot of film festivals, notably Dances with Films, the indie festival. I was just really proud seeing my music video on the big screen because, it was my vision behind the song, my vision behind the music video. And it was really coming to life, and being able to see the fact that other people recognize it and agree that, it's a good music video just made me really happy.
So when you look back on your career so far, how did the Nickelodeon part happen? How did you get into there?
Yeah, so I've actually gone out for a couple of Nickelodeon parts. The first Nickelodeon part that I got was actually a Nickelodeon series that's a spin-off of the popular YouTube channel React, which I've actually been on since I was 8.
Wow.
It was a really fun series. I basically just was able to jump right into the series since I was already auditioned for the YouTube show and got onto there. And I was in a lot of episodes, which was really fun because they were really amazing episodes. We got to watch these funny videos, share reactions to it, and also do a bunch of crazy challenges, including like a pizza slap challenge, like shells challenges, basketball challenges. It was a really cool experience. And I just basically got to share my reactions and perspectives. And then my other Nickelodeon role was on Game Shakers, which is something that I auditioned for and got the part. It was really awesome. Also, the whole cast and crew was amazing. And my part was really fun because I was kind of one of the mean kids. And we were basically one of the rivals of the Game Shakers. And we were battling through chicken fights and through online games as well. And it was really cool. It was a really great experience. The food there was awesome, and it was just really amazing overall.
So what would you say has been your hardest role to play as an actress?
That's a bit hard. I think one of my hardest roles was definitely on the series Snapped She Made Me Do It on Oxygen, because I was actually playing the younger version of a serial killer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was part of flashbacks that she had with her parents. And I think it was just a little bit hard to portray the, beginnings of somebody with such a twisted mindset, but also maintaining childlike innocence. So I think that was definitely an interesting role to play.
Did you do anything extra to try to learn that type of role?
I mainly just went with my intuition since I was still a bit younger. So, I wasn't really displaying any psychotic tendencies as part of the role yet. But just showing a little bit of like the beginnings of somebody who wasn't going to end up well.
Oh, wow. So what would you say has been your most fun role to play?
I think the most fun was probably Game Shakers. It was just really great. We all played ping pong in between scenes, and it was really fun. I know I keep talking about things outside of the actual role, but the actual role itself was awesome too. The set was really cool. We got to play games as part of our actual role. And it was just really fun. All the scenes were fun to do. All of our lines were really well written and fun to portray. So that was a really great experience.
So as you know, a lot of people, they see you as the artist and the actress, but they don't see the teams behind the people. And in our opinion, they don't get the love they deserve. So we always want to let the artist, the guest, take a few moments just to tell us about the team that helps you be who you are.
So I'd say my number one team member is definitely my mom. She's really, really supportive with all of my pursuits and helps me out with acting, singing, everything. So definitely a huge shout out to her. And then my vocal coach, Robbie Rosen, who I actually work with to write some of my songs. He's amazing to work with. We actually did a duet with my song Last Breath, and just super thankful for all of his support as well. And then Ricardo Padua was my original music producer. He produces a lot of my songs, and it's just really amazing working together because we kind of share the same vision, and it's really easy for us to collaborate. And then to everybody at Tipsy Records, which is my current record label, they're all incredible. They help me promote my songs themselves. Nobody would be listening to my songs if they didn't know about them. So I'm really thankful for everyone there as well.
So you talked about your mom. Tell us a mom story, one that kind of stands out. Now you probably got 1,000 of these.
Oh yes.
But a story that stands out where she went above and beyond for your career, and you're like, wow, she really gets this. Is my passion.
I think with Hear Me Out, the music video, there were a lot a lot of different factors because it was kind of a large production. We had a whole set rented out. We had a lot of different locations that we were filming, and just the way that my mom helped me manage it all, because I was only 10, so I really wasn't able to like fully manage it, just like pick out the locations and kind of help out there. The way my mom was able to fully manage it and organize the cast and crew and make sure that everybody knows what they're doing, because we also had to hire a cast for backup dancers. Just the way my mom just went about all of that and really put in a lot of time and effort for my vision for the music video to come true, that really meant a lot to me.
And, speaking of teams, we have a third co-host, our little 9-year-old that we let come on the show and ask a couple questions.
Yes,
awesome.
I will get him.
So Sandy's going to get him, and we've got a 2-year-old daughter. When she gets older, she'll be plugged into the show too.
Oh, perfect.
So hopefully, when she's 3 or 4, she'll be able to ask one question, and then we'll probably have him ask 2 then, because we try to keep it right on 3 questions, for them.
Awesome. That's so cute.
And I guess we're training them to be you.
Perfect. That's amazing.
You said you've been doing this since how old?
8.
8. Wow. And he's 9, so.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Kacey. So, what's your favorite food?
That's hard. My favorite food is probably mushroom pizza because I love pizza in general. Who doesn't? And I also really love mushrooms, so I think mushroom pizza is just perfect.
Oh, wow. And what's yours?
Pizza.
Oh, yeah, pizza. I know a lot of people that love pizza.
So, what's your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show is actually the show Manifest on NBC. It's a really cool show about a group of people who were on a plane that disappeared and then reappeared 5.5 years later, and they didn't age. They didn't feel any time difference. And then they start experiencing these weird callings and the government spying on them and all these crazy things. It's a really interesting show, and it's actually now on Netflix. So I urge anyone to check it out.
And what's yours?
My SpongeBob.
Oh, nice. Yeah, SpongeBob is a classic.
Yeah, SpongeBob's been around for a long time.
Okay, so what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. I think that one might be Avengers Endgame. I really liked that movie, and I like the whole Marvel. I like all Marvel movies basically. So I think that one was just a really good way to end off the Infinity War whole storyline.
What's yours?
So, mine is the Minions movie.
Oh, the Minions movie. That one's great. I love the Despicable movies and the Minions movies.
He loves them all. The Despicables, the Minions, everything.
Those are
and our
awesome.
little 2-year-old loves them too. When we can walk by a store, and if there's a Minion in there, she'll point and just laugh. And what's funny is, she came kind of out of this phase now, but when she, when the movie first happened, she picked one point in the movie where they turn purple and they go, and every time she would see a Minion, that's what she would do, go. And
That was cute.
That was the cutest thing. It kind of sucks that she's kind of out of that phase because she ain't done that in a while.
Aww.
It was cute. Though.
Bye, Nate.
Bye.
But yeah, you just never know what you're going to get with with them two. I tell you. So, if you could co-write with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
That's hard. I think I'd have to say Lin-Manuel Miranda because he's just such a brilliant composer, and it would be incredible to, co-write a song with him. And I love the musical Hamilton. I love all those songs. They're all masterpieces in my opinion. So it'd just be really great to work with him.
Love that. Now, this is kind of the same question, but directed towards being an actress.
Yes.
If you could co-star with any actor or actress, who would it be, and what would you want the role to be?
I think a lot of hard questions. I think I'd say Angelina Jolie because she's just so brilliant and such an iconic actress, honestly. And I would love to act in any film where I play a spy. So a spy film would be really cool.
Awesome.
And she's good at that.
Oh,
yeah.
So back in 2015, we interviewed Kelsey Ballerini. And at that time, she was just up and coming. A lot of people didn't know who she was. But I asked her where she want to be in 5 years. And I always like to tell this story before I ask the guests the same question, because the answer she gave us back then is to the T of what she's living now. I mean, she knew where she was going. So knowing that, where do you want to be in 5 years?
Well, in 5 years, I'll be in college, so that's definitely going to be a huge part of it. In 5 years, I see myself in college, still pursuing acting and singing with, academics, first priority, of course. But I definitely want to have an album out and maybe have another major acting role before then.
Oh, wow. Now, what would you do? Because this does happen from time to time where a big role came when you were supposed to start college. And I'm talking
Yeah.
a game, not a small role, but a game changer role.
Yeah, I mean, it's always an option to take a gap year, so I wouldn't be afraid of that if it's like, an incredible opportunity. So there'd be a lot of things to consider, but it's always an option to take a gap year or take a break from academics for a semester.
Right.
I love that answer.
Yeah.
Great answer though.
Yes.
On that one. So let's say that we look 15 years down the road and you're a success on a grand scale. Whatever that looks like for you, you're there. If the person you are today could meet her, your future successful self, what would you want to remind her?
I would definitely want to remind my future successful self to stay humble and thank the people who helped me get there, because I definitely want to make sure that I'm never taking anybody's support, anybody's help for granted. And I think that's just super important for a lot of people to remember. And I think sometimes celebrities tend to forget that they're not the sole reason that they're famous, that there are so many people, both on their team and off their team, that have supported them to help them get there. So I definitely want to remind myself to thank them.
Wow.
Yes. And how would you describe your music to someone who hasn't heard it yet?
I'd say most of it's really poppy, exciting, upbeat, energetic. A lot of it's dance music. I have some ballads in there which are a bit more heartfelt, but a lot of them are songs that you can, get up and dance to, play at a pool party, all those types of things.
Awesome. And what would you like your legacy to be as an artist and actress? What would you ultimately like to be known and remembered for?
I think the main thing I'd want to be remembered for is for inspiring others. I think that's one of the main things I aim to do with my songs. All of them are meant to have a deeper meaning behind them, to either show people you're not alone with your emotions, or that you can do whatever you set your mind to. Like my song Bring Me Down, nobody's ever going to bring me down. I Won't Give Up, that's another one of my songs. And that's just one of my main goals throughout my career, is to inspire others and help them also achieve their dreams.
Awesome. And if you could relay any message to your fans, what would you want to say to them?
I would just say thank you so much. There's really no way to express how thankful I am for everybody's support, both online and offline. It's just really incredible that there are people who want to listen to my music, want to support my acting, and just want to support me as an individual. And I just can't express how thankful I am for that.
Now, this is kind of a two-part, since you're both an actress and an artist. I'm going to take it both ways. What advice would you give someone who's trying to make it in each? Let's say you had a friend of yours and you heard him or her sing and they've got something special. As Simon Cowell would say, they have that it factor. But they've played maybe 40 or 50 shows, and they're still getting their feet wet on the performance side. And man, they know they're supposed to do this. But on the other end, you got an actress friend, same way. They've been a few commercials, they've done maybe one or two shows, but they both know they're supposed to do this. What advice would you give each of them to help them the next few years?
I think the advice for both would actually be the same, and it's honestly just 3 words: don't give up. And I think that perseverance, as I've said before, is the most important thing in both acting and singing, because if you're working hard and putting in the effort, you will find success. You will be able to grow your career, and if you give up just because you've gotten rejected too many times, then you'll never actually see those levels of success that you're capable of.
And really, that success is within any endeavor, because even what we do, we're chasing the same dream that y'all are chasing, but different platform. We want to be the Bobby Bones show, the Kelly Clarkson show, the Ty Bentley show, even the Dr. Phil show. We want to be up there like all that. We're chasing that. So we definitely get where y'all are coming from, because we're chasing the same dream y'all are.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure that you feel this way. There are moments to where I feel like, I quit. It's over. I'm not doing this no more. And she has to drag me off the cliff sometimes. Every creative person goes through this.
Mhm.
When you get to those moments, what drives you to keep going?
I think I just remember the reason that I actually started acting and singing, and that's to pursue my dream. And, you can have hard days. I've had hard days in the past, certainly, but those really shouldn't make me want to give up everything I've done so far. So I think just reminding myself of that is what
How
really
far you've
helps
come.
me.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because Sandy and I will talk about it sometimes at night, and we're sitting there and we're like, "Man, 400 interviews, that's a lot of interviews. If we quit now, I mean, we've had
Oh, yes.
also we've had smaller people and bigger people. We've even had one of the Backstreet Boys on,
Oh, yes.
and we've had some super cool people all through this, and we're always like, if we quit now, we would
We don't know
always
what we're doing.
wonder where this show could go.
Mhm.
And I think that's what people need to remember is the further you get, the harder it's going to be to get to that finish line. But it's also harder to quit. But if you do quit, you're going to always regret it.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
So as we come to a close here, any final parting words, and tell us how everybody can find you.
Well, thank you for tuning in, everybody. I hope you learned a little bit more about me and the industry. You can find me on Instagram at Kacey Fifield, no underscores. I'm on Twitter, same thing, except there is an underscore between my first name and my last name. Same thing on TikTok, Kacey_Fifield. My Facebook is the letters Kacey and then Fifield. I posted on there a lot more often than I used to now, so make sure to go check it out. And then my YouTube is Kacey Fifield Variety.
We love that. And we really enjoyed having you on the show
We
today,
did.
and we look forward to having you back with some more updates.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This has been amazing.
We love it.
Oh, yes. Love it.
You have a
Thanks
great
so
day.
much for your time today.
Thank you.